there's another little bit of furore, is that the right word? This time, though, it's from a Colombian journalist who seems to have a bee in his bonnet around the fact that Lucho didn't play the last game. And I'll read that out to you in a moment, but I don't... These people are delusional. I don't know what else to say. Like, imagine complaining about DIAZ not being played for pretty much, 2 games after an international break, and he came on in both of them. So, LFC Transfer Room said, Colombian journalist at Vélez Football claims that ARNE is having a certain favouritism over Cody Gakpo by not playing Luis Diaz. They're making Lucho a substitute. Slot is from the Netherlands and Diaz replacement. Gakpo is from the Netherlands. It would be frivolous to say it's because he's a compatriot, he's preferring him, but I don't rule it out. So, you fucking little clown, you don't want to say it, but you're saying it. So, it'd be frivolous of me to say it, but I'm going to say it. You are talking absolute shit. Diaz has been the number one for ARNE since he's come in. Diaz has been the first choice left winger, and after an international break where once again he's been over to Colombia, our manager decides to give him a little bit of rest, just a little bit, and play Cody Gakpo. He goes on to say Gakpo is a great player, he can play in any position, not necessarily as a left winger, and the coach decidedly is putting him there right where Lucho plays. Might that be because I don't know, Cody Gakpo thinks of himself as a winger? Perhaps. Imagine I was saying this about Kelleher. Imagine I was coming on and saying, well, it's a disgrace that Kelleher's not playing. This is favouritism towards Alisson Becker. How dare he not be playing Kelleher? Just grow up. Shut up. Stop moaning. Diaz is getting more than enough game time. Everybody loves Lucho. This is just bullshit that quite frankly needs to be called out. Because, you know, you can't say in one phrase. It's like saying, I'm not racist, but, and then saying something racist. So you can't come out and say, I'm not saying it's because they're from the same country, Gakpo and ARNE, but also I can't rule it out. Stop. Just stop. It's madness. Just shut up. You're embarrassing yourself. Craig, it's a Colombian thing. They can be very tribal in that sense. It's petty is what it is. You know, I don't know many Colombian people, so I don't know if it is a Colombian trait or not. And I'm all for people getting behind their players and supporting their fellow countrymen and women. But to try and make something out of a situation that isn't there. For instance, I don't remember this journalist's name being bandied around saying that it's disgraceful that Lucho's dad was looking for Lucho to get a move to Barcelona. I don't remember him looking out for Liverpool's interest there. And once again, here he's not looking out for Liverpool's interest. So I wish these people would just shut up, for want of a better phrase. Or whoever's interviewing them and giving them this time would have the balls to call them out for the nonsense that they're talking. Because if he was speaking to me and he came out with that, I wouldn't be printing it. I'd be destroying him because it's absolute nonsense. Until the last couple of matches, it was all Diaz and well-deserved, said Tony. Absolutely, mate. Diaz has been in great form. But we've always said in this conversation that we're spoiled on that left side. Like, we really do have an abundance of riches there. To know that we've got Cody, to know that we've got Lucho, it's great. And we want these guys to raise their levels, to raise each other up, to increase that competition, to benefit the group as a whole. And we also need to be able to rotate and rest one or the other. This whole narrative is just silliness. And I'm kind of getting fed up of it. I'm getting fed up of all these outside voices trying to influence and undermine our football club. You know, everything's great until a player from a particular country who a journalist suddenly decides is being disrespected. Then all of a sudden the light gets shown on Liverpool like we're being a disrespectful club. Had it with Mane, have it with Lucho. We've had it previously before as well with Salah and others. It gets tiring. Can't it just be that maybe the manager feels like the attributes of one player suits a different game over another? You know, he's admitted himself that they're both good footballers. That Cody Gakpo's a top footballer as well. It's just so silly. It is frivolous, mate, but the journalist has an agenda to back Colombia. I get that, Aaron, I get that. And I've no problem with somebody backing a compatriot. But it's not, like, realistic, is it? Like, Lucho has been our starting left back for or certain left winger for most of the season. And deservedly so, because he's been great. But I don't understand it. You know, it's 2 games and already they're moaning. And he's played, I think, off the bench in both of those games as well. Bobby said, I reckon Slot is saving them for certain games. Yeah, and it's great that we have two good options on the left, isn't it? You know, many years gone by, we'd be complaining about a lack of options. But we really do have two really, really high quality left-sided attackers who, and to be fair to both Lucho and to Cody, they can both play in multiple positions. Cody can play through the centre, he can play left, Lucho can play left, and as we seen when he came on last night from Mo, he can play on the right as well. So yeah, it's just happy days that we have these great options. Pro said, I don't think Slot has been unfair to any player, he's just managing the players' minutes. I think so, like, he's taken Salah off, he's taken Trent off. He hasn't taken off Virgil, really, to be fair, which I think Virgil could probably do with a breather, but trying to figure out when you give him that breather, I guess, is difficult. Maybe the League Cup. So yeah, I think he's been clinically assessing his squad, and I think he's been more than fair in the way that he's gone about making his substitutions and his team selections. You know, we're never always going to agree with the manager on a team selection or a formation or a style against a certain team, but again, 11 win from 12. You know, keep going, Arne. Keep getting these wins. James said, Diaz started the first 3-4 games of the season and no one bats an eye about Gakpo. Exactly. It's just a case of the manager has two great options, and whichever one of them starts on any given week, I'd like to think that most Liverpool fans will go, yeah, I can understand that, because we trust both of them. You know, trust both of the lads on the left side.